I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes.
Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Let's go!
Set! 230!
Hey, we don't like the 48 right now. Let's go! Come on!
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So here's 2nd and 4. Now a handoff here to his running back. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Hey, alert! One day.
Check.
Bravo!
Mike, 48.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Looking for his running back, and he's got him.
Let's go.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Hey, set! 180!
44. Watch the screen.
Block it, set!
Now Roethlisberger on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 51 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'd be interesting to see.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. Jackson now. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run with Spiller. And he'll push his way up to about the 44. The pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Now, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 31. Toss play to Spiller. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. A gain there of 21 yards. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And no pitch there, and no chance either, as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the Steelers' 12-yard line.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Jackson from the shotgun. And now he'll tuck it and run. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down with a nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and
2.
Here's Spiller. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from a yard out as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what the number of carries, just keep giving it to him.
All right, now. Wide 80.
Go back to 48 right now. Let's go.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
And he better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this first quarter.
Show that bench release.
2nd and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 40.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Going for it all. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Extra point now by Boswell. Team-7 ball game.
Steelers 14, Ravens 7.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But it's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Tucker with the extra point. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. That's about as good as a linebacker can diagnose that play, isn't it?
It certainly is, and what he did really well is that while he was diagnosing, he got his feet in motion without actually going anywhere and taking a false step that he had to make up later. He read it, got his feet in motion, and then he just took off and made the play.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the 1st down run. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Roethlisberger. Ebron caught left side. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. And he'll cut it to the right side. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half as his guys are able to regain the lead. And always a good 1st half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 21-14. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Devin Bush able to get him for a loss of about 3. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the 1st half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
From just shy of midfield, Roethlisberger to the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this 1st half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
44.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
A chance to really cap off a big 1st half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a third time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Second and goal from the 1. They'll try to run this one in. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Boswell good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. It's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
48, orbit. Here we go. 48 for Mike. Hey, let's get in that rolls. Mike, 48. Here I come.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. The Steelers send out their punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. Returning it is Moore. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get into field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Give me that ball, defense.
Now it's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. That's Harrington. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson letting one go deep for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Mike 8.
Don't say nothing.
Here's Jackson throwing again. Looking for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This from 44 yards away. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And it's taken in at the 9. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Okay, partner. No surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
A handoff to Spiller to begin the drive. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run the jet sweep with Brown, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And it's knocked away and incomplete. DRC, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie getting in there to break it up. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Middle. $50. Here we go. Slack it.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brings up second and 2.
Here we go.
Facing a second and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Alert flag.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. From 17 yards out. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He don't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now Jackson, flushed out right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film. Extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson, and that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now, the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To throw again is Jackson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Tucker's kick is good. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. Able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here we go. 50.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
48 mark. 48 mark. Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6.
48 to Mike. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. This is Johnson. He's got it. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3 and out. Roethlisberger now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Right there.
Taken down at the 41. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 41-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Strip that ball.
These 2.
48.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Damon Harrison bringing in 341 pounds of power for the sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Raekwon McMillan, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. Here's Jackson to throw. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st. Jackson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 35-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
They go play action now. Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. This is caught inside the 15. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. That was a bit of a desperation throw on 4th down. Both receiver and defender go up for it, but he got it. Now they're set up really nicely.
On the other side of the ball, absolute frustration. He was right at the hip of the receiver the entire time, but desperation won.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Jackson. He's got it. It's Spiller. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. Here's Jackson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. Through an opening, and there he goes. The 30. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive. And he's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Scrambling not particularly a Roethlisberger strong suit, but he does get the job done there and gets a first. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Black 20.
Got to do better. Come on, QB, come on. You go tight. You got tight.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. They hand off to their big tight end. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 42-yard line.
Ready? Wide 80.
48 Mike. Tighten up, tighten up. Pull it together.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they?